Hey, and welcome to I Am Just Game, the podcast where two best friends spill the tea, share the laughs, and celebrate all things queer life, love, and joy. I'm Hernando del Castillo, coming from sunny Miami, Florida.
And I'm Rahshek Darnell, holding it down in Washington, D.C. We've been besties for over 20 years, and we're here to share our stories, your stories, and everything in between.
So grab your headphones, pour out your drink, and settle in for a good laugh because we're just gay, and so are you. Hey everyone, and I Am Just Game community. We're here back with episode 3 with Rahshek Darnell and myself, and we're going to be talking about defining brotherhood and a chosen family, and how 20 years of friendship.
There's a premature ejaculation there.
Premature
So let's
clap,
just
premature
dive right
clap,
into the episode.
premature clap.
I love it. How are you today?
I'm good. All right, start all over.
No, we're in.
Oh, we're in already. All right, guys. So, yeah, I'm good.
What this episode is about.
This is about our friendship and our lives and how we got to know each other, how we met, and the crazy 20 years roller coaster of who we are and how we came to be, and how we're like a family now, and how your family knows my family, your brother knows my mom. Everybody knows each other now. Cousins, nephews, best friends, we all know each other. So super excited about. Well, I mean, it all began with catfish.
So yeah, get ready, guys. This is the origin story.
That's how it all began. In a little land called AOL dial up, I enter mail for mail at 19 years old, and it goes, and I don't remember. I think my screen name has. I've always had this AOL, so I've always been HD and 310, always my whole life. So I've never changed it. So I've always been HD and 310. So like it always popped up on my AOL. So I went on to M4M, and I was talking to guys. I wasn't out at that moment. I was coming out of the closet. I was not. I was feeling everything out. I was learning who I was. I was like, I was 19. I didn't, I mean, I feel so, it's so amazing that kids these days come out so young, because that wasn't my story. My story was like coming out like at 19, almost 20 years old, after like knowing in my heart, because I'm Catholic, that I knew I was gay, and coming to terms with that was very difficult. And then like actually exploring what was being gay like, men, having experiences with men. It was just like it was a journey. It was a journey, and it started with chats in AOL, talking to guys. That's how it started.
Right. Thank
So
God for chats. Thank
thank
God
God for
for
chats. Those
right.
chats.
Also, thank God for dial-up. I mean, those.
Do
I
not
mean,
pick up the
picture it.
phone. I'm using the internet.
Exactly. Picture it. 2000. That was year 2000. So that
Two.
was over 24 years ago.
Yes, that's how long we've known each
Wow.
other. Wow,
Amazing.
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 So
So you remember your screen name? I don't remember mine. Like I'm sitting here trying to think of what it could be, but I have no clue. None.
yeah, so we were there, and you know how you do side chats on AOL? I don't know, you guys maybe are not that old to know side chats on AOL, but like you literally were on the thing, and then you could side chat somebody like, hey, what's up? Like you want to like get them off of the main screen. And so
Yeah, so
like,
think of it in today's world as a DM. You slid in the
yes.
DMs. Yes.
What, did I slip into yours or you slipped into mine? I think since you're the top, you slipped into mine.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. I slid into his DMs as this sexy chocolate. Picture it like, you know those flyers for parties, circuit parties, and it always has like the chiseled black man
Yeah,
or Latino man. That was the picture that I
that was
chose.
the
This is
picture. This was the picture
right,
that I got away.
right. I wish we
For
could
five
like find
minutes.
that. Well, you know what? You probably can find that stuff because someone, not gonna name any names, still has an AOL account. So, homework for you. You need to see if you could find some of that content
I need to
from
look
year
at it. I might.
2000.
It might. It might. I might.
It's a strong possibility. I mean, it's the internet. Nothing ever goes away.
Nothing goes away.
Nothing.
Nothing.
So
For
that's
you guys,
homework.
for you guys these days, that nothing goes away. In our days, things weren't documented as much as they are these days. I was able to get away with a lot of stuff that, if it was documented these days, I would have been in jail or somewhere. Not
Right. Right.
so, but yeah. So you slip into my DM with this hot model, chiseled 8-pack, and I'm like, who is this guy talking to me? From where were you, Virginia at that point?
Yes, I was in Virginia at George
Yeah.
Mason University.
You were at George Mason University, and I was in Miami-Dade Community College. I was in Miami-Dade, and we started talking and chatting, and then we ended up talking on the phone.
Yeah, and how I remember it, that night I slid into your DMs like, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" And you were like, "Oh, I'm fine." And we got to the point where we were like exchanging like where we were from, what we were looking for. And then I think that's what led to the picture exchange.
Yeah.
And then from there, that's when it started to get a bit more deeper.
Yes, it did. It got
And it got real deep, like real
yeah,
deep, real fast, if I'm remembering
real fast.
correctly. Uh, I believe like either that night or recently, you were mentioning considering taking your life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was so sad, and you had and that's when we you called me.
Yes.
You
Yep.
called me that
Yep.
night, and I was
Because
like,
I was like, no, this is not going to happen. Not on
yeah,
my watch.
exactly. Like you called me,
So yeah,
and
we
like you,
exchanged numbers. Yep.
yeah, and yeah, you call. I mean, like thinking now back then, now that we have like talked about a lot of things, like there's always been this mental health thing in me that has always like this cloud has always been over. There's just always this cloud, and like my highs are really high, but my lows are really low. So
Mm-hmm.
like I was just so like unhappy because I was in the closet. Nobody knew who I was. My mom didn't knew. My brother didn't knew. I was hiding all the time. I was pretending that I was somebody I wasn't. And I was ready to leave. I was just like, I'm tired of living this way. This is exhausting. And like this Catholic guilt that plagued me for so long was like chiseling at my soul. Like, and I couldn't, but when you talked to me, I felt relief. I really did.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is I didn't have my shit all together at that point. Like I also was not out, but yet I'm like, "Oh, no, you're not taking your life." And you know,
Yeah.
it was saying like it gets better even before the whole campaign of it gets better came
Yeah.
out, like I guess 10 years or so after that. Um but pretending, quite frankly, I mean, down from the photo that I sent you, I was not out, so I didn't have the answers, but I knew that you were a human being who you needed to be on this earth for a reason, I guess, for me at that time. And yeah, and we formed a friendship at the beginning based on, at least from my perspective or my part in it, based on some lies. Um some lies that eventually we got over because eventually we did meet, and of course I was not the chiseled guy in the photo that I sent you.
Which I gotta
Um,
admit, like you took a plane to Miami to meet me, not telling me. and not mentioning that you were not that guy. And that took balls. I gotta say that. I mean, I never asked you what were you thinking at that point? I never asked you that.
Well, first, if you recall, that was my 21st birthday.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, I'm just going to, one, say just being young and dumb. Like, that's definitely not something I would be doing at this ripe age. So yeah, let's start there. I was just turning 21 because I
Yeah.
hopped on the plane because I wanted to come down to celebrate my 21st birthday
Hmm.
in Miami. I think I was working at the Ritz Carlton at the time,
Yeah, you
so
were.
living my best life with that
Living your
wonderful Ritz Carlton discount.
yeah.
So that was part of it. Selfishly just wanting to go down to Miami, experience that for the first time as a black closeted man, because again, I wasn't out. Um, and then I really just thought, like, we will figure this out, and again, I believe that goes back to the naivete that
Yeah.
comes with being 21, where it's just like, I'm gonna go, we'll figure it out. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But here we are, 24 plus years later, so clearly it worked.
Yeah, it was funny because I had just mentioned it off screen about like this this book that I was reading about proximity, and that's the reason you stay friends and all this stuff. And I'm like, I think that there are special cases in life where that is not the case. Proximity does not dictate a friendship. I'm not saying that is the norm, but I'm saying that we weren't. I mean, we weren't the norm. We still not the norm.
No, because yeah, like we actually just skipped over a whole chapter. So for the listening audience, so we went on this journey of him being catfished, me pretending to be someone I wasn't, and we were in a whole ass relationship, long distance relationship. You
Yeah,
remember
we were in
that?
a long distance. I was getting letters. You were getting gifts. I was getting gifts. We were sending each other flowers. We were like a year in the relation. We were like a year in.
Yeah,
Where,
before we met in person.
yeah,
And then we met in person and we continued the relationship even after, you know, the shit hit the fan, so to
mhm.
speak. Um from my perspective, we had a wonderful time together. That I think it was a weekend that I was
Yeah,
down there, like a couple of days. I remember you taking me to Club Bongos,
hmm,
then to my first gay strip club, then
yeah,
my first actual gay club, I think Club Boy.
club boy. Yeah,
Um, and then I remember us going back to the Ritz, well, not going back, like we were just arriving to the Ritz Carlton Key Biscayne. Um, I remember that night vividly, where this winding road with people out there with like the traffic controller
hmm,
lamps guiding us into the front desk of the hotel lobby, and this is late at night, guys. Like, I mean, probably at this point, like 3 o'clock in the morning or
yeah,
so, after all
great.
the clubbing we had done. And again, for context, it's my 21st birthday. We get into the lobby. They greet us with two glasses of champagne. So, like, how romantic. And then we go up to the room, and let's just say the rumor was a knocking.
The rumor was
And
a knocking.
a knocking to the point. Do you remember this? I tell this story all the time. Like, to the point, security was called on us.
You know
Like,
what I
security,
remember? I remember music Soul Child playing in the background.
yes. Love
Love, so many people use
people
the name
is
in
to tell
vain.
you. I don't even know the song, so I'm gonna stop there. Okay.
Music Soul
But
Child was our love language at that point.
exactly. So yeah, I recall that vividly, like it happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And we continued. I would say for a few months after I went back, being in a relationship, long
Mhm.
distance relationship. And then I think we both realized that we'd be better as friends.
Yeah, it was
And then that's what blossomed into this amazing friendship slash brotherhood, which is what we're celebrating here on today's episode, which goes back to your the study that you found about the proximity and how that dictates whether friendships or relationships thrive. And yeah, we honestly were the total opposite of that, because you have lived in Miami, parts of Florida.
Hmm.
I've lived in Virginia, the DMV, um,
Atlanta.
North Carolina, yeah, Atlanta, like all over.
Yeah.
Yet our friendship has been able to sustain.
Yeah.
So the proximity didn't matter. I think what matters in this equation is the intent and the purpose and the actual effort. I would
And
say
the
effort
and the
more
love.
so.
And the love.
And
I think and the
of
love that we
course,
had for each other, because even though we didn't maintain a relationship, I think that deep down I was in love with you. I was in love with you.
likewise, yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah,
deep down, even though that love didn't flourish into a relationship, it turned and it like into a love that was more like a brother in my life.
exactly, exactly,
Like a person that I can confide in, trust, that I can be completely myself with. That is so rare to have that in life.
right.
Somebody that you could be completely honest with.
And also, I might add, a person who you can cry on a dance floor in the middle of Miami. I forget the name of that club. Was it Club like Mansion or something like that?
It was Mansions, yeah, Mansions in Fort
Yeah,
Lauderdale.
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Also, I mean, there's a lot of moments of us crying in these friendships. So, one of the, I would say, maybe successes to this friendship is, though we didn't live together or we weren't close together, we always planned trips together. So
yeah, we
we
did.
were around the country and parts of the world. We went to DR together, um,
I mean,
and I
I
remember,
went a lot. We made it a point to see. I mean, we were literally say, "Hey, we got to see each other at least twice this year." Like
right,
we will talk all the time. We will like email, not text. Like we will email all the time. We will talk on the phone all the time. But we will always also make plans to see each other. Like, hey, let's make it a point. I'm gonna go to Atlanta for Black Gay Pride. You're gonna come to Miami for so and so. So we knew
right,
like, hey, at least 3 times out of the year we'll see each other. And then little by little, our friendship started into like, let's go to California. Let's go to DR. Let's go to Europe together. We plan trips. We still have to take our trip to Africa. We're
yeah,
most likely going to go on a trip soon too. So, let me tell you something about, I despise those people that say they don't have time for people. Because
mm,
if you don't have time, it's because you don't want to make the time. So be
that's
aware
true.
of people that say to you, I don't have time for you. I'm so busy. Nobody's that busy. No one.
Right.
So, because we made time and we were
Yeah,
busy.
and we both had busy lives. I
We
mean,
had
you
busy
were
lives. You had
managing a
become,
whole spa.
I was a whole director and you were a whole, like, handling, like, corporate accounts for, like, major corporations. So
Right.
it's BS. We were busy.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Right.
So I'm very grateful for your friendship. I'm very grateful for your love. I'm very grateful for your patience, because you've had a lot of patience with me. I mean, we've talked about me getting sober, and you went through like years of you helping me and trying to manage my addiction, because I wasn't, I mean, you tell people the story of the club, because that is the pivotal moment where I knew that I had fucked up as a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think because there's several moments,
He's like,
but
that's
what
but this one.
the right, the one that I can recall is DC Black Pride. Don't remember the exact year, but I can tell you like the moments of time. So this was the year that Jennifer Hudson won the Oscar. Um, and I know that because we were at club, I think it was Dream at the time
Dream.
here in DC. Patti LaBelle was the star at the club event. and then she brings Jennifer Hudson on stage as a
Yeah.
surprise, like
We all
hands
died.
down.
I
Right.
died. We
They
everybody there died. They couldn't
exactly like
believe
there
it.
will never be a moment like that in
Never.
Black
Academy
gay
Award
history.
winner Jennifer Hudson singing with Patti LaBelle in a stage in a little club. And you were literally like feet away from them. That not even if you planned it, it could happen.
Exactly. But yeah, this one had a grand old time. And for those who know the Washington, D.C. area, Club Love, Club Dream is off of New York Avenue in Northeast. It was a very sketchy area back then, also known as Ivy City, um, where at that time, like now, it's totally different. But at that time, look at Siri and all the devices up in our conversation. I didn't ask for that, Siri. So yeah, like that area was very sketch. It had nothing but clubs and abandoned warehouses, and club lets out what 7, 8 o'clock in the morning,
Morning.
and this one is nowhere to be found. And for context, I lived at the time in I think Centerville, Virginia. So, I'm spending I think probably a couple of hours calling his phone, texting, no answer. And eventually I'm like, okay, I gotta like take it back home and try to figure this shit out. I think even like had to call your mom, like, have
Yeah.
you heard from your son?
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
have not heard from him.
It got that crazy and
Yeah, hours went by,
yeah.
and then I'll let you fill in the rest.
I mean, I think I strolled in my drunken stupor from some dude's house that and I got put in a taxi. It's very like you moments of my alcoholism are very blurry because I don't remember them that well, but I knew I got put in a taxi and sent to you, I think. And I
Hmm.
showed up like it had to be like 1 in the afternoon. It had to be like 3 in the
Yeah,
it was between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. And like, oh, I had to take a flight.
right. And that was what the scary part was, because it's like there was no sense of urgency on this man's part because yeah, there was a flight
I,
happening in a few hours. Like,
I
what
had to
the
take a
hell is
flight
going
to
on?
Miami. I remember first of all the look on your face because you were gonna call the police. You thought
Right.
something had happened to me. Like I mean, literally, you thought I was probably dead or something. I mean, from
Absolutely.
where we were in that area, you thought, oh my God, somebody did something to him. And then I showed in, and I remember that look in your face, and I will never forget that look in your face. It was just like that look of like it wasn't even like you were mad, you were just so sad, so sad. And
Right.
I knew at that moment I had like broken something in you, and like trust and like a lot of things. And honestly, those are moments that when I was thinking of getting sober, that I held on to. Like, I don't want to do this to anyone ever again. I don't want to see my best friend, almost my brother's face, the way he looked at me that day. And I remember in that waiting for that plane, crying, thinking like, I can't live this way anymore.
Right.
And this, what does it take to maintain this friendship? Because it's been you being so honest with me and telling me, Hernando, you got to stop, and me opening up myself to understanding I had to stop. So, and that's what it takes.
Yeah.
Healthy friendships require like hard conversations. People,
Absolutely.
people
Having those tough
understand that.
conversations.
If you want to maintain a healthy friendship, you gotta have tough conversations with each other. Real, like we call them come to Jesus conversations. Because me and Rahshek have had a lot of come to Jesus conversations in our friendship.
Absolutely.
You know,
To the mountaintop.
to the mountaintop.
Even I recall, I don't know what we were talking about, but we literally were on a mountain. We were up in the hills of LA at
LA.
the Modern Getty Museum,
Yep.
having lunch after, going around this wonderful museum. And apparently we were having a deep conversation, so much so that I think we were shedding tears.
Yeah, we were
We
crying.
finished our lunch, and then this couple next to us saw us leaving and felt so compelled to be like, we just had to say hello because your friendship is just so powerful. Like it emoted so
Yeah.
much in them. Like I'll never forget that. It's just like,
Yeah, it was
wow,
so
it's crazy.
crazy. Like they came up to us and they were like, "You guys are so real with each other. Like that is so rare. Like even for us, that is so rare to be so real." And I was like, "That's how we. That's the only way we could survive the distance. And
Right,
our friendship has to grow. We have to grow. And we've grown. I mean, we were children. We were 19. I mean, we met when we were 19. So
right.
1920, then you met me at 21. We were in this relationship for almost a year and a half. Like, and then, I mean, we were kids, like
It's
kids.
crazy.
And so, people, open yourself up to love. It's amazing. It's,
Yeah.
and it's difficult and it's vulnerable and it's not easy.
No, I couldn't agree more. And no, I have enjoyed this journey with you. It has shown me lots about life, lots about myself, how to show up for others, how I want others to show up for me. It's also just given me practice in being vulnerable, compassionate, all the things. So I thank you for um, indulging in this journey with me, and especially here on this podcast, we're going to do that a bit more as we continue on this newfound journey for the both of us. Um, so, any sort of closing thoughts before we wrap it up here?
No, I mean, like you guys know, you know where we're at right now. We're doing this podcasting. Um, we've transitioned into a different point in our friendship as well. I mean, I literally had just gone through like 3 years of depression, and Rahshek like was like literally I was not speaking to him for a little bit because of my depression. I wasn't speaking to a lot of people, and like he went through his own journey because of that. I went through my own journey because of that, and then we kind of like got back to like, hey, there's still a family here, and there's still a brotherhood, and there's still a friendship, and with that, let's move forward. And I'm very grateful for you to like letting me be a part of your life, even through all the heartaches and all the roller coasters of it. Because I mean, it takes a very open person to say, I still want you in my life, no matter what.
Right. And yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, my philosophy is we're all humans going through a human experience. We don't
Hmm.
have all the answers. So who am I to not choose you anymore because you were going through an experience?
Hmm.
You know, it took some time for me to understand that. I think we said on the last episode, like I had to bring that up as a topic of discussion in therapy of, how do I manage through without, talking to my best friend.
Yep.
But because you are chosen family, um, I knew it was something I had to do. And, you know, it's not easy. It's an experiment, and we're making it work.
And I think all friendships are experiments. I think chosen family, chosen people in your life, like your mom, your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, they're like people you gotta love them because they're your family. But everybody else you choose to walk into your life, and you choose to keep them there, and you make the effort. And then there's people that walk out of your life, because I'm a very big believer there are people in your life for a reason, for a season, and for a lifetime. And I've had all of those in my life. But
Right.
I always thought that you were always my lifetime. you've always been my lifetime, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. So yeah, no, this has been a great episode. We wanted to pause and give you all the origin story to kind of let you know, like, why are we here? You know, why are we
Yeah.
listening to these two characters? I mean, that's part of the origin story. I'm sure there's more that we have not delved into, and well, you know, maybe we'll bring them up, or maybe they'll come up. But yeah, we just wanted to pause and give you all that understanding of our friendship, which we both cherish, of our brotherhood and our chosen family. We hope that you continue to choose us
Yes.
as a podcast. So please remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share.
Share. Do we have polls going on also? So remember, please comment on this episode. We want to know about you guys too. You are part of this chosen family. You're part of the I Am Just Gain community that we are creating, because you're gain, we're all gain, I'm just gain. So come and be gay with us also.
Right.
So we really want you.
And I know we didn't do our queer moment of joy, but we'll just end it. I mean, I think the queer moment of joy is this amazing friendship that
Yeah.
has sustained the test of time for, at this point now, going 25 years.
25
So
years. The queer moment of joy is 25 years of friendship going on strong.
awesome. Fantastic. Well, I love you, brother.
I love you
Thank you
too.
for being in this journey with me. And with that, thank you for listening today. And we'll be back soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
That's it for today's episode of I'm Just Gain. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this space with us.
And if you love what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your favorite friends. It keeps the conversation going.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok for now, because we don't know where it's going, and Twitter, also known as X, at I'm Just Gain, for behind the scenes moments, episode updates, and more queer joy.
And until next time, remember to live authentically, love unapologetically, and always celebrate queer joy.
Because we're just gain, and so are you.